Do you want to close deals faster? Well, this automation links Pipedrive and ClickUp so that your sales and ops are constantly in sync. Let me show you how it works. So as you can see, on the left hand side, I've got Pipedrive open, and on the right hand side, I've got ClickUp open. And so on the left hand side, as you can see, there's a deal under here, which is called Brian's Motors deal. And this is under the third stage, which is prospect is qualified. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this deal into this stage over here, which is needs defined. And what's going to happen is that an automation is going to be triggered within ClickUp, where it's going to show a task which is created within ClickUp. Let's go to the right hand side to check it out. And as you can see, a task was created immediately within ClickUp. Here it is. It says prepare proposal for Brian. So because we move the task from prospect qualified to now needs defined, then automatically a task is created within ClickUp. And so the task is again, prepare proposal for Brian. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this task so that we can have a look to see what are the details of this task. And so as you can see, here's the title over here and here's the task ID. If I go down below over here, we see there's more details regarding this task. And as you can see, this is the task content. It says create ClickUp proposal for Brian of Brian's Motors. And as you can see, we've also created custom fields, which is contact name, Brian, and then deal ID being also 12, which is great. It looks like this task has been successfully created with all the details in mind. And so now what we're going to do is that we're going to mark this specific task as completed. As we mark it as completed within ClickUp, what's going to happen is that an automation is then going to be sent to Pipedrive, where the stage is going to move to the next stage. And then what's going to happen is that the sales team is also going to be informed about this particular deal. And so let's check this out in real time. So I'm going to open up the task again, and then all I do is that I come over here and I mark it as complete. And if we go to the left hand side, as you can see, the task is going to automatically move to the next stage, which is proposal made within Pipedrive. And then if I open up the deal, there should be a note that is then speaking to the sales team and informing them of this particular deal. So look at that. It has been uploaded successfully. It says here, proposal marked as ready for this deal. And so this note was released as soon as the task was completed within ClickUp with regards to this deal. What an amazing automation. Hi, my name is Peter from Connex Digital. We are an automations and integrations company that specializes in Pipedrive and ClickUp automations. If you're interested in working with us, please be sure to book a free discovery call with us. If you want more information, check the links down below in the description. Without further ado, let me show you how you can build this Pipedrive and ClickUp automation. Alright, it's time to get into it. The digital automation platform that we'll be using to build this automation is make.com. And what's special about this automation is that it has two scenarios. The first scenario is where we are going to watch deals within Pipedrive, and when they moved to a particular stage, then that's when a task is going to be created within ClickUp. And then the second scenario is where when the task has been completed within ClickUp, then that's when it's going to then be sent into Pipedrive and it's going to be updated to move to the next stage. And then that's when also the sales team is going to be notified. So these are the two scenarios that we are actually going to build and what I'm going to show you. So let's go to the first scenario and let's take a deep dive. So the first scenario has two modules. It has a trigger module as well as an action module. So the first module is a Pipedrive CRM watch deals module. So if I open up this module, these are the details that appear. Okay, so if we look at stage, I set it as needs defined pipeline 4. And essentially what this means is that it's watching for deals that are in this particular stage, which is needs defined. This means that the needs of this particular deal have actually been defined. And so I've filtered it also as all open deals. So that means that these deals are all open and not closed. And then if we look down over here, here's also the status of the deal. So we're not selecting one lost, deleted, or all not deleted. We're actually just selecting open because it's still an open deal. Then I've limited the output to be 1. and then it also will be triggered when an object is updated within Pipedrive. And so this is the trigger module. It's waiting for deals that are in this particular stage where needs are defined. So I'm just going to save this, and then we're done with the trigger. Now, once the trigger has been activated, then it goes to the next module, which is ClickUp, create a task. So then a task is then created within ClickUp. And so this is where you have to set your workspace. You also have to set up your space over here, your folder. You also have to create a list within ClickUp. And then what you need to do is that you need to define details with regards to this specific task. And so that's what I did over here. As you can see, the task name is prepare proposal for then person name. So where are we getting the person name from? We're getting the person name from the trigger module. And so we just have to go to the mapping panel. We have to find person name, and then we drag the person name into this particular field, and then we're good to go. We have to find the task name. And then what we need to do is when we scroll down over here, we have the task content. So it says here, create ClickUp proposal for person name of organization name. And so again, we'll find the person name of the particular deal, and then also their organization name or their business or their company name over here. So this will create the task content. Great. And then you set up your assignees over here, which is great. Then what I did here for status, I just clicked on to do over here. So this is the status of this particular task. And then also what is the priority. So I set that as urgent. And then here where it says due date, as you can see, I've added 3 days to this particular task for this task to be completed. Why is that the case? Because logically speaking, if you're creating a proposal, you can't do it in that particular day. You maybe need some time in order to finish it. And so logically, I just put a formula there, and then we just add today's date when we get the task, and we just add 3 days, which is perfect. And then down over here, there's just more additional information with also the start date being now, which will give us today's date. And then down here also, I've also created custom fields. So there's 2 custom fields that I created. I created a deal ID as well as contact name. This is going to be important later when we're trying to sync Pipedrive with also ClickUp and making sure those 2 are actually in sync. And so it's important to create these custom fields, and you do this in ClickUp to create the custom fields. So once we're done with that, all we need to do is we click on save, and then boom, we're done with scenario 1. Scenario 1 again is where we watch deals in a particular field which is needs defined, and then that's when a task is going to then be created within ClickUp. Now let's go to scenario 2. Now scenario 2, we have 4 particular modules. We're going to be using 2 ClickUp modules, and we're also going to be using 2 Pipedrive modules. Remember that this particular scenario is waiting for tasks to be completed within ClickUp. And then as soon as the tasks are completed within ClickUp, it's going to get those particular tasks. And then after that, it's going to update the deal within Pipedrive. And then from there, that's when the sales teams are going to get notified in terms of that particular deal. And also the deal is going to move to the next stage automatically. So that's what's happening in scenario 2. So let's look at this. So the first module is a trigger module, and basically it is a webhook in ClickUp. So it's waiting for this event to happen when the task is completed, the task that we already created with this particular deal. Awesome stuff. So we're going to click on save. So that's what happens. And then I've added a filter over here. So this filter here is the condition. The condition is that these items over here, these fields, must then equal to complete. So this essentially means that when the task is completed, this is actually the filter that needs to operate. Because remember, there's many different stages with regards to the tasks. Is it in progress? Is it in this? Is it in that? So we're just looking for the tasks to be complete. Once they're complete, then they can go to the next stage in this automation. So this is the filter. I'm going to click on save. Once then the filter has happened, then we go to the second module. So the second module is ClickUp, get a task. So as soon as now we watch for the task, now we need to get the task within ClickUp, that particular task. And so in order to do this, here it says task ID, which is a required field. All we need to do is that we need to map task ID from the trigger module, from the previous module. And so as you can see, the task ID is over here. All we do is that we put that over here, and now the task ID has been successfully mapped. Great. So what we need to do is click on save. Now we get a particular task within ClickUp. Now that we have the task within ClickUp, now we can now pass some of that information into the next module, which is Pipedrive update a deal. Now we can update the deal within Pipedrive. And so here it is. It says deal ID, which is also a required field. And so that's why it was important for us to now get the task within ClickUp so that we can map the deal ID from ClickUp. And remember, how did we get the deal ID? We created a custom field within ClickUp. And then the last thing, because we're updating the deal within Pipedrive, we need to make sure that it moves to the next stage. How do we do that? We just need to scroll to the part where it says stage. And as you can see, I've set it as proposal has been made pipeline 5. And so when this module runs, then automatically the deal is going to move to the next stage. This is all that we need to do for this particular module. I'm going to go down and save. And then last but not least, we go to Pipedrive CRM, create a note. So this is where now the sales teams will be notified in terms of this deal. So as you can see, the content over here is proposal marked as ready for this deal. And then we're getting the deal ID from the previous module because we already have the deal ID. We also add a time over here. So I've set it as now. And that's about it. I'm going to save this and I am officially done. This is how you can build powerful automations with Pipedrive and ClickUp. If this is something that has sparked your interest and this is something that you want us to build for you, we'll be more than happy to do that for you. Please be sure to book a free discovery call with us so that we can get the ball rolling. If you want more information, please check the links down below in the description. If you'd like to visit our website, please do so at connex.digital. If you like this video, please be sure to like, share, and also subscribe to our channel so that we can give you more valuable content. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.